Hey guys, Netchi here, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought that I would create a video about my YouTube journey and also talk a little bit about some tips and tricks that can help you guys out if you're thinking about making a YouTube channel. If you're interested in any of that stuff, if that sounds even remotely interesting, then just hit the subscribe button. You see what my button did? She's gonna thump you if you don't hit the subscribe button. It doesn't pay my bills yet, but it will one day. Hit the subscribe button and let's get into this video. So you want to be a YouTuber. I'm someone who loves being creative. I'm someone who needs to be creative. I'm someone who cannot thrive or flourish in this world without being creative. Those are things that like drive and propel me as a creative individual. So YouTube is one of those things I started because I love to create things. And a lot of people, when I would create things, would ask me to show them how to create things. If this is you and it sounds like you, then I highly recommend that you create a YouTube channel. This is not sponsored by YouTube or anything like that. But the reason why I'm encouraging people to start YouTube is because the parameters to become monetized have become a little bit trickier in the year 2020. And I think that a lot of people, when they first think of YouTube, they're like, oh my gosh, money, I'm gonna make money. I'm gonna just start and I'm gonna make money. And as someone who is in that boat right now, it is not that easy. It is not easy. It is not that easy at all. I just want to present the reality of it and then get into some frequently asked questions. So when I first started, it was that you had to have 1,000 subscribers and you had to have over 20,000 views. I hit the over 20,000 views very easily. It was the 1,000 subscribers that's the harder part and the part that I'm still struggling with right now. Because a lot of people, when they watch something, they don't necessarily need to subscribe to watch it. So they just watch it, they give you your view, but they don't subscribe. So this year I was pushing subscriptions, and then the monetization rules changed. So now you have to have more than 1,000 subscribers still, but you also have to have 4,000 watch time hours in the last 12 months. You know what 4,000 hours of content is? 240,000 minutes.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
240,000 minutes. So that's a lot of watch time. People like me who make content that's very overly saturated. Like if you are into makeup, if you are doing anything beauty related, like honey, it's a struggle. Only because when people are looking for tutorials, they are naturally gravitating toward the tutorials of people they already know. They aren't looking or searching for new tutorials, new things like that. Because we're in an oversaturated field, those watch time hours are 4,000 hours. There are 24 hours. Hold on, let's see how many days this is. Almost 167 days if we're rounding up. It's 167 days of people watching your content. People need to watch your content for 167 days. That's a lot. Like let's be clear, the views were easier. That's why I snagged up those views and I was like, damn it, I didn't make the subscriber count in time to be qualified then. So now I have to just pump out content, which is why we're here. I was like, let's just talk about it. It's difficult, like 167 days, and especially as someone who's new to YouTube, new to the platform, it's difficult, which is why I'm encouraging you to start. If you are even thinking about it, if it's even in the back crevice of your brain, you need to start ASAP, because the sooner you start, the sooner you're able to get into a zone, a routine, and a habit and start posting consistently. That's what happened with me. I started YouTube technically 3 to 4 years ago. It really wasn't until this year that I would even consider myself a YouTuber, and it's something that I actually like promote outside of Instagram. Like when I'm on the street, I'm like, yeah, I'm a supervisor at a call center, but I'm also a YouTuber. Like now it's something that's part of my conversation. Whereas before, because I wasn't as consistent, it was something that I was like, oh, it's kind of like a hobby. Now I'm like, this is a career because I love to do it, and I can't see myself coming home on a day or like a week that I have nothing to do and not creating content. It's just something that's just gonna have to happen. So to me, it's so ingrained in me now that I'm like, okay, those hours are coming. It's just gonna take time. So for you, my recommendation, person who's thinking about it, is that you need to start. Don't worry about equipment. I have been blessed enough to have a full-time job in the midst of working YouTube. So for me, it's easy for me to go out and buy things because it's not really a worry at this point, but I was there years ago when I first started YouTube. I had 2 roommates and I was in the smallest bedroom of that house, and I was renting with 2 other women, and I was going to school and I was going to work, and I only had my iPhone, and oh, I had this. I had a tiny baby tripod and a ring light clip that went over my phone. I'm not new to the struggle or the hustle, girl. Believe me, this did not happen overnight, which again is why when people see my setup and they see my channel, they often assume that I make money from YouTube, which I do not yet. I talked briefly about filming setup. Again, don't really panic or worry about any of that stuff in the beginning. Most phones, even if you have an Android, if you have an iPhone, there is some sort of editing software on there where you can edit videos. If you don't have lighting, don't really focus on buying a super expensive ring light. While it is a benefit, it doesn't necessarily work for everybody or flatter everybody depending on the rest of your lights. Like I first started with the phone ring light and then I ended up getting something else, I think. I forgot, I had some other lighting, but it just didn't flatter me the way that the two soft shadow boxes do. Like these are things that will come with time, but I think your main focus when you are starting is to use natural light. When I started, my phone was set up in front of a window and then I would take a white sheet and hang it over the window to help the light filter through the same way that it's filtering through for my shadow boxes. And that tip I got from a friend in photography, so I passed that on to you because it helped me, it helped balance the light in my room, it helped me look much better. Again, why I encourage you to start is because a lot of stuff you do in the beginning, you're fumbling. Like you're not too sure what you should say, how you should act, how long your videos should be. My main recommendation when it comes to all those things is be yourself and make your videos short. In the beginning, I was making very long videos. Now I feel like I've kind of got a handle on how to express myself really quickly and get in, get out. And I think that that's what I recommend to you because then it becomes homework, then it becomes laborious, then it becomes a project if your videos are super long. So think of creative ways to shorten your videos, which brings me to my next point, plan. Plan and execute your plans. I have a planner and every month I write out what my vision is for my channel, what kind of content I can create. And not everything that goes in there is something that I create, but it's an idea. I write it down, I might come back to it, I might not, but it's an idea, I write it down. Which brings me to another point, learn how to be flexible. A lot of times when you start YouTube, yes, you want to be consistent. Yes, you want to knock out these videos on a specific day. You want to create a schedule. But the reality of it is, in my situation, I can't speak about anybody else's, but in mine, is that when I set those really tough parameters, those really like hard deadlines, like a video is coming out tonight, I have to make a video every Monday. Like once I started doing that, it was very confining to me. And then when issues would pop up, like a storage issue, or a rendering issue, or like any kind of upload issue, those would be very discouraging to me because I would feel like, oh my gosh, I really wanted to get this video up today, but I'm basically shit, or I suck at this, and I'm having all these negative thoughts because of things that had I planned, or I took time to execute, or I gave myself the time to execute, or the flexibility to execute, I wouldn't be feeling the way that I'm feeling. So give yourself the flexibility, take a breather, and just kind of like go with the flow. Like it's one of those things that yes, I want you to start it because I think that that's what you should do, but at the same time, you cannot be super hard on yourself if things don't go exactly as planned. There's something else I want to talk about. The type of content that you put out is really, really important. And I mean, like, make sure that it's true to you and it's not what you see everybody else doing, because I have had not like an epiphany, but a hard time creating content that I see other people making because it's just not for me. Like, if you notice, things like Halloween just passed and I didn't do one spooky look because it's not me. Like, you know what I mean? Yes, it's what everyone else is doing, but why would I do something that is not true to me in my core and then not do a good job at it? And then no one's gonna watch it anyways. That's just a waste of time and resources. So try to make content that's actually authentically you and very good. Like, if you're doing what everyone else is doing, then there's really no reason for me to watch you. Like, that's not me being mean, that's the honest truth. If I see you doing exactly what everyone else is doing, I really am not drawn to you for any other reason because I can get that and I already have that. So why do I need to add you to my collection? Like, that's what a consumer is thinking. So I want, again, to tell you guys what I'm dealing with to help you guys if you're thinking about doing it. At the end of the day, you need those watch time hours, but you also don't want to create things that are too long where people are just gonna look at it and not gonna watch it. We are in the digital age of getting information like this. Think about all these things when you're creating your content, plan it, execute it, but most importantly, just start it. Again, I really only started this year being super consistent, so I really can only expect to be monetized in the next year or so. It's just about being patient at this point. But for people that keep asking me like, so how do you make your money? I don't. Like, I do not make money off YouTube. I make money off my job, off my 40 hours that I put in a week. And then everything else that comes is just a bonus. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did like it, please give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about anything I discussed today. If there's anything that you want me to expand on more, please let me know in the comments down below. And as always, subscribe to me. It doesn't pay my bills yet, but it will one day. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.